Key Valley, a collection of dynasty walls, and our longest walk. We're on the Great Wall right here on Drone and Phone. Welcome to the third episode of our Great Wall adventure. I'm here with Andy. How are you feeling after the last hike?
A little bit better now. I have to say I was a little bit dehydrated, but today I'm hydrated up to here, so I'm all right. I'm ready to go.
Well, today's going to be 15k, a bit longer than the last one, but this is a really key point where we're starting at Gubei Khao. You can see behind us this valley that's swept right the way round and down this direction, and you see the Great Wall coming down on either side. This is a valley where the Mongols wanted to attack. 130 attacks at least from them, and then later the Japanese, all trying to get through to Beijing. Right, we've got a long way to go. Let's get going.
Come on then.
The Great Walls of China are much misunderstood, and here at Drone and Phone we're on a mission to change that. Over 8 episodes we travel from the far east of the Ming Wall to the far west, bringing you a series of hikes that reveal a little of the history and the true splendour of this wonder of the world. We start with a taxi into the town of Gubei Khao and set off first along a paved road and then up into the hills. Very quickly we find ourselves surrounded by different era walls. Now, as I said in the first episode, this is the Great Walls of China, not the Great Wall. This looks like one of the earlier walls, probably the Han Wall or the Qin Wall. This is rammed earth rather than the bricks that we're going to be on the Ming Wall. We're going to be up there later on. But we know that this particular valley at Gubei Khao was really important. And so we're likely to see lots of different eras of walls, defensive systems put up, because this is where the Mongols would attack from. The walk up onto the wall is relatively gentle compared to Simatai, but once we reach the familiar brick wall, the gradients are unforgiving. The scenery is breathtaking and the path is relatively safe.
Well, this is more like what I expected. Nice fat bit of wall with a path along the top. Relatively straightforward walking. This is it. I quite like this bit, you know.
The route takes you up along a relatively shallow incline with an open view of the walk ahead. For this walk, we'll do half the hike along reconstructed wall and the first half on the wild wall. So here you can really see the sweep of the Great Wall in the direction we're going. We can see the Simatai Ridge right over there. That's what we did in the first episode in the far distance. And today we're going to work our way over towards it. We're going to go zigzagging all the way along the wall here, and we'll drop down before that ridge, which is where we finished today's walk. We are walking in April, before the worst of the heat, but Andy, recently off the plane from London, is finding the going tough.
Well, for us British, this weather is brutal, but apparently this is the best time to come to the Great Wall. It's only 22, 23 degrees, lovely and sunny, and the views are sensational, so I kind of get it. But wow, I couldn't imagine what it's like when it's hot.
Around Beijing there are plenty of places that explain the history of the wall and how it became known outside China, eventually making its way onto the list of the 7 great wonders of the world. But of all the places that gave it that reputation, this was probably where it all started. The scene behind me here was painted by George Staunton in 1796. It was based on some notes from a guy called William Parrish, who was here on a mission, McCartney mission it was called. He was going to see the Qianlong Emperor on behalf of the British. He passed from Beijing to Chengde, past the Great Wall, and it's here where he first popularized not only the wall but the name the Great Wall. He mistranslated it from the Chinese, which is 10,000 li, roughly meaning 5,000 kilometer wall. He called it the Great Wall, and ever since that is the name that has stuck in English. Key to the effective fortifications along the wall are the watchtowers that served a number of purposes in the defence of the empire. Small groups of soldiers could live in the towers, send signals along them and mount attacks on invading nomads. If you look close, there are often inscriptions on the walls made by the occupying soldiers or the regiments that constructed them. So Andy, this here is one of the many marks along from the Ming Dynasty. So this is the place where the people who built who put the bricks together, which was normally an army regiment, would mark one or two of their bricks just to say, we were here, we did this, we built this, and don't let anyone forget it. This is part of the Ming Dynasty. I also want to point out this white cement is very typical of the Ming Dynasty wall, and when they did a little scientific experiment to find out what's in it, guess what's in it?
White paint.
It's sticky rice. A little bit of sticky rice apparently keeps it bound better together than just regular cement.
Good gracious. If you look at the map, it doesn't actually look very far. The trip that we're going on, this is a 15k walk, but some parts of it are pretty straight, like you can see behind me. But if I swing you around this way, you'll see in the background, it's really quite meandering. It's a little bit like a stream. The only big difference is the stream finds the bottom of the valley and goes all the way through the bottom. Whereas here, they just built it right on the top of the ridge. So if the ridge went left, the wall goes left. If the ridge goes right, the wall goes right. So it's an awful lot longer than it looks when you look at it. It's great fun though. Fantastic.
At the halfway stage, at just over 8 kilometres, you come off the wall and onto a wooded path that winds down to a small hut at the end of a road. This is a possible out, but for us, we refuel, charge our phones and set off back to the wall. This time, we walk to a newly constructed section. Okay, it's now nearly 4 o'clock. We've just arrived here and we are paying for a ticket, which is about 65 RMB each. And we've got, we think, at about 6k to get back to this east gate here. But there are places to get off all the way along. So we've done about 9k, but if you want to do a shorter walk, there's lots of places you can jump off when you've had enough. The reconstructed wall is a lot easier going than the wild wall, but still has some steep inclines to negotiate. It is important to stress that distances on the wall take 2 or 3 times longer to walk than a normal hike due to the gradients.
Well, DJ's just bought us a ticket to come on this section of the wall. And it's actually really well maintained. It's beautiful. It's almost like a carpet. Look at that. It's pretty special. Anyway, I like this idea. It's still up and down though. Well, as the early evening light turns a wonderful shade of golden, I am pretty exhausted. Our lovely 15k walk became 16k, and then 17k, and then 18k. But I think I should be okay, as long as I keep on going, one foot in front of the other.
The hike is easier going, but we're quickly running out of time on the wall. We are hoping to make it to the end of this reconstructed part and descend down to a gate before it gets dark. We've got less than 4k to go, but we've run out of time, so we've had to rush through this checkpoint. There's a cable car down there to get there before 5 o'clock because they're closed. Now when we get to the other side, we're not going to know whether we're going to be able to get through the gate. They told us they'd lock the gate and we can't get through. But we want to spend as much time on the wall as possible. We want to finish. Andy's feeling it a bit. But good soldier that he is, he's going to continue on and see if we can just finish off what we started to do. Is that right, Andy?
Apparently so.
Once past the checkpoint, we took it slowly, basking in the evening light and enjoying some of the best views you'll find on the wall, climbing into the distance. The gate was locked at the end, but thanks to some building work, we were lucky to find a cut-through that took us onto a path down the valley to a waiting car. we would not recommend it and suggest setting off early to make what would be the longest walk in this series.
Well, that's the end of this episode. It's been about 15k, or it will be. We've got about 1k still to go. How has it been for you, Andy?
Well, there's always an adventure in drone and phone. Today has been no exception. It's been fantastic. Really hard work though.
It's been absolutely beautiful. This is certainly one of the highlights, I think, of the Great Wall, but it is very tough to do what we did. You can come off earlier if you want. Now, if you're finding this for the first time, you're going to find another 8 episodes on the Great Wall, plus loads of other content on our website, droneandphone.com, and also on our YouTube channel. For now, I'm very tired. For now, my name's DJ.
And I'm totally exhausted. I'm Andy J.
And this is Drone and Phone. Look at that. How does it compare with the toughest hikes you've done recently?
Oh, I think I got there about halfway on this hike. I should have got the cable car down, had an ice cream, had a beer, gone for a nice spa,